if you love your cricket, if you were playing yesterday, if you're 6, 10, 56, boy, girl, woman, man, you're about to get a treat because the great man, Brian Charles Lara, is going to run us through batting. Are you ready to go, mate?
I'm ready.
Okay, so we've got about 10 minutes, so we're going to go through the full gamut. Firstly, what's your grip? Let's talk grip first. What are you doing with grip?
My grip has always been like a handshake.
A handshake?
Yeah, so if you hand me the bat.
Okay.
Here. Yeah.
Simple.
Yeah, very simple.
And you're a right-hander.
Yes.
But you bat left-handed. And what advantage does that give you?
I mean, when people ask me that question, I was like, I'm confused because my top hand is my power hand. My top hand controls the game. And it being right-handed, obviously, it's a benefit. So, again, here I am holding my bat in my top hand. My bottom hand is just there, just sort of guide the ball where I want to do it. This has nothing to do with power.
Right.
All the power comes from the top hand. If I want to go over the top, if I want to hit along the ground. And as I said, the bottom hand is just for guidance. If I want to take a ball and off stump, hit it through backward point, the left hand opens the face. If I want to hit it over the top, yes, it gives me that elevation to go over the top as well.
Well, how good is this? Brian taking us through it. And just already you can see the man, the way he uses the bat. So top hand is where your power comes from. I think we've got a clip of a back foot defensive stroke. It might be Craig McDermott or the like. So what is the key to, I think we're having a look at it now. So this is you against McDermott. Just short of a length, what are you doing back foot defence style, Brian?
First of all, I bat out my crease, right? And my trigger movement is back and across. I'm here, back and across. My left eye is now over the off stump. And from here, I can decide if I want to attack or want to defense. My mindset has always been to attack. Other than that, I got to play a defensive shot if it's a good ball. So I'm back and across. It's a good ball, and I'm over the top of the ball and getting my eyes on top of it, playing the ball underneath me as much as possible.
And what are you focusing on? I noticed you were talking about a batsman yesterday watching the ball the whole way. So the bowler's at the top of his run. What are you doing in setup?
Yeah, I'm set up and I'm looking at...
Easy, Brian. He's giving me a little whack with a kookaburra. I got too close.
I'm looking at the ball in the bowler's hand running right into me. And as I said, my first movement, my trigger movement is back and across, which puts my left eye, which is my dominant eye, over the off stump. And from here, I'm picking up the line, the trajectory, where the ball is going to be pitched, and then deciding on what shot I want to play. Okay,
so you've now got a bit of width through the offside. You're looking at...
Move.
I'm going to move. Indeed, move. How much... Gilly tells a great story about positions being moved in the field, and you say, oh, they've moved that to the wrong position, then hitting it through the gap. So you had an uncanny ability to hit the ball through gaps. How did you manage that? Were you so aware of the field, or was that just skill?
I think it came from, when I was very young, I used to play cricket in the garage. I would have my plant pots, my mom's plant pots. I placed them as fielders. I'll throw the ball if I'm playing by myself against the wall, and I'll be hitting shots through the gaps. And I felt that when I started my career, I started playing 25 one days before I played my second test match.
Okay.
So I started to learn to score runs, and I felt that whenever I was playing an attacking shot, I wanted to get something for it. It could not be a cover drive straight to cover or straight drive straight to mid-off. I wanted to find a gap, and that brings that bottom hand into play, where I sort of just manipulate the face of the bat into the gaps.
So we just saw some vision there of you off the back foot, driving through the exquisite, beautiful shot with that big flourish. So it's just short of a length, and you're looking to put it through the offside. What are we doing?
What we're doing, again, I have this picture in my mind of where everybody is. I know where the fine leg is, mid-off, backward point, the 3-6 gully. There's a gap there, and I'm looking to score runs if it's a ball that I want to attack. So again, I'm getting on top of it, and there's a big gap between cover and mid-off, and I'm sort of pushing it through the gap. Again, the bottom hand is key. That is for directing the ball. The power is here. The direction is from the bottom hand. And as I said to you, if it's a bad ball and if it's an attacking shot, I want to get value for it.
We call you in Australia a bums-on-seat style operator, Brian, because people would come and sit in the seat and watch you bat, and it was often to do with that flourish in your backswing. Was that something, can you just play a typical cover drive and just watch Brian's flourish when he gets to the top of the arc?
Here we go.
Oh, there's that big flourish that BC Lara was famous for. Did you always have that flourish? Because that's why you were so beautiful to watch.
Yeah, I think it sort of gave me that momentum with the bowler. Back in the day, you're facing a lot of fast bowlers. I wasn't a very big guy, and I felt that I needed that trigger movement. So if it's Malcolm Marshall, Joel Garner,
stepping back again.
I'm here. And it just stuck with me. And happily for me, no one actually talked about it, especially my coaches. Maybe a lot of critics talk about, oh, he's not going to get his bat down in time. But I had pretty quick hands, and I got it back down in time. And as I said, I've sort of enjoyed doing that. Sometimes, if I was to go wrong, I'll take the bat out here, which is not, you don't want to do that. If I was in good form, I'll take it up here. My hands would still be close to my chest. And that means that if it's out here, it's going to come from gully. And as you saw maybe from the right-hand version of the silver,
Yes.
playing across the line of the ball, I didn't want to do that. If I was doing that, I was in trouble.
Leg side, where it's just short of a length, and again, that flourish is in there, that knee comes up, so you're just getting a short of a length ball on middle and leg, and you're going horizontal bat. What are we doing?
Well, first of all, I'm going to use my crease. So the trajectory I pick it up is going to be short. So from my trigger movement, I go further back and sort of get my hands in to get into that, either the whip of the hip, the pull shot, or the hook shot. So again, aggression being the name of the game for me, I want to pounce on everything that I could pounce on. And yeah, the short ball is something that I utilize a lot.
We heard yesterday, Laurie, our statistician, told us that Brian averaged over 80 against the spinners. There's some great vision of you. I reckon it's in Sydney where the great late Shane Warne's bowling to you. So how important is footwork against the spinners? And you had that amazing attacking mindset. When the spinners came on and you were batting, couldn't go anywhere. Had to watch you in action.
Yeah, well, first of all, I'll let you know that there are guys like Harbhajan Singh, even Kumble as a leg spinner. They never gave the ball any air. That sort of troubled me, or it kept me quiet. But the likes of Shane Warne, the Mutar Militaran, McGill especially, every time they give it air, I love to use my feet. You got to understand, though, where I came from in the Caribbean, there's more spinners than fast bowlers. Barbados, Jamaica, that's where you get the fast bowlers. Trinidad, Guyana is where you get the spinners. So I learned to play a lot of spin from a very early age. And yeah, again, trajectory is important. I'm back in my crease. I'm no longer outside my crease. I still got a trigger movement, but it's not this. My trigger movement for spinners was this. I used to go here, and if it was short, I'll get back quickly to do whatever I wanted to do. But if it's up and sort of tossed up in the air,
Let's see
here,
the dance.
I'm going to go down the track to get to the pitch of the ball to sort of decide where I want to hit it. If I want to hit it on the ground, in the gap, or if I want to go over the top.
How much is physical, how much is mental? So, you know, this is a man that made a 400, a man that made a 500. How much of batting is physical and how much is mental? And when you're trying to stay out there for those long innings, how are you staying mentally on top of your game?
It's I would say 90% mental.
90%?
Yeah, because when you get to sort of test level, everyone's supposed to have a certain level of skill. You know, you don't just get there by mistake. You got to get there because from a kid, you've been working with your skill, you've been getting to the top. But when I started to play Test cricket, I realized there were a lot of mind wars. Like, you know, getting out there against the Australians, they would test you, not just with the ball, but with words as well. And I believe that if you're capable to handle that and develop that mental side of your game, you could be a winner. When I went out to bat, survival was the most important thing. I gave myself 30% chance of surviving. The bowler had 70. An hour later, it's 50-50. 3 hours later, it's 70-30 in my favor. But that's the mental one. I can see sometimes a bowler's got the ball in his hand and he does not want to bowl to me. That's when I've won that war. So for me, the mental side of the game is key.
And just before we wind up, we've got a minute. You talked about the Australians. When Gilly was there behind the stumps and Shane was bowling, did Gilly have much to say or not?
No, I used to talk to him all the time. Yeah.
Did you? What were you saying to Gilly?
Yeah, quite a few times. You know, sometimes, as I said, being an aggressive player, being an entertainer, I believe sometimes you'd have maybe a backward point, a short third man. They would move him from backward point and put him, you know, maybe a short fine leg, and I say to Gilly, hey, that's a mistake. And he said, I mean, that's a mistake. I said, wait and see. You know? So we used to have a lot of fun out there. But Gilly wasn't one that sort of disturbed you in a negative way or got under your skin. There are other in the Australian team. I remember Darren Lehman feeling it silly mid-on. Brett Lee was bowling. He said, Brian, you're going to mash me just now. You know? I said, don't worry about it. Don't worry.
We love it, Brian. It's great to get an insight into one of the best batsmen the world has ever seen. We appreciate it. Make sure you've recorded that. Go back and look at it. And next Saturday, playing club cricket, you may even make 500 yourself. Good on you, great man. Well done.
Thank you.
Great to hear from Brian Lara.